It has been 4 years since we got our dog Oakley, our Cocker Spaniel. So this is going to be the update video. I have done a video a year since we got him, and this is going to be a bit different. It's going to be a bit of a confusing one, and I apologize if you are new. I'm sorry if this makes no sense and it's a bit of a weird update video, but basically I've been putting off making this video so much and I did last year as well, and the main reason is we are literally in the exact same position as last year. Like the exact same position. I was coming up to making this video because I knew it was like the time of year for it, and I watched that video back and I was literally like, nothing has changed. Like nothing has changed. So I'm actually just going to direct you to last year's video. We do have some questions that I'm going to answer through, but in terms of how it's gone from year 3 to year 4, go watch that. It might be the wrong side, I might be putting the wrong side, I can never get it right. Go watch that one. So off the back of that, the only thing that's really changed is I talked about like his little regression thing he was going through, about like the howling and things like that. That got better, it really did, and then we went into another one in July. But between that, fine, absolutely fine. His separation anxiety got so much better. We can leave him from like 3 or 4 hours now and have no problems really. We don't leave him longer than that just because that's kind of like our boundary. We don't like leaving him longer than that by himself. But we had a little bit of the regression thing again, the exact same type from July to beginning of September, end of July, beginning of September. So it was about a month. But it's getting a little bit better, but we're in the exact same position. We never got a trainer's help. It wasn't the right time, and then it got expensive, and like for the one that we need, we will get there eventually. But basically I don't know what I've called this, but this is going to be the last Oakley update video, I think, because I have obviously Oakley's going to be in the content. He's not going anywhere, no one panic. But like I said, I was dreading making this video, and I think the hate that I got at the beginning of showing Oakley on this channel has never left me, and I've talked about it in a load of Oakley videos before. It's never left me, and that's all I think about now when I come to make a video. And I've made it very, very clear on this channel that I haven't had the best experience of owning a dog. And because dogs are such loved creatures in this world, or in this country, or like, I don't know, just westernized country, I don't really know how far spread this love for dogs goes, but it feels like I am terrified to say anything negative about Oakley or mine and Oakley's relationship, or God forbid saying that I regret getting Oakley or anything like that. Not that I'm saying that I do, but say if I say anything regarding that, I'm terrified of the backlash that I'll get. And I'm not saying that like I'm a big creator, I'm not, but my dog videos do quite well. But I think the majority of the people, maybe not the majority, maybe a small minority, but a minority of people watch this content to make other people feel bad and comment and say that it's not the right way to do things like that. And it's just, it's not what I want from YouTube anymore. And I've had people be like, you should do more dog content, because people love seeing Oakley. And the people who are here who love seeing Oakley, I 100% would make more content for you. But the hate that I get from the rest of the people, and also the pressure that I feel to not say the wrong thing, is just too much now. Like, it's not, I hate making Oakley videos because of that. And I want to be the person who's honest about owning a dog, and I want to talk about that, like I really do, and I talk about it a lot with people in my everyday life. But doing it online is just a whole kettle of fish. It's like there's so much negativity that comes around it, and that's all I think about when I think about posting an Oakley video. This is actually the second time that I've filmed this video. I've got a full half-an-hour clip doing a big update and talking about how things have gone, but I literally got half an hour in, was doing the questions, and I was like, I've been too negative about my dog and people are gonna hate me for it. Like, and I've literally that video is not going anywhere, because I know people will be like, you're being so negative about your dog, do you not think it's gonna, like, I know I'll get some comments about that. So this is gonna be the last Oakley update. I am gonna answer the questions because I put that out there and people have asked me questions, so I'm gonna do them. But if they are negative, please don't comment. Like, it's just how I am. It's how the experience has gone for me, and how I am feeling, and I am allowed to feel the way I am. Oakley is well cared for. He is well loved. Like, that boy, well loved. He gets everything that he needs. He gets enough exercise, everything like that. And people know what I'm like with training, so he gets what he needs. But if I'm negative, that is how I'm feeling and how I feel about the situation. So please don't be like from the answers that I give. So without further ado, I'm gonna do the questions. I might do one more like Q&A if people want it. like if there's demand for that. I'm not sure that there will be, because this video probably isn't the best video you've ever seen in terms of structure and things like that, but I might do another Q&A if anybody wants that, so let me know. But we'll do the questions. We'll start with my lovely friend Ellen, who said, is he a good boy though? Only one right answer, obviously. Of course he is a good boy. He is a very good boy. How separation anxiety training is going. We haven't actually done any more training per se from year 3 to year 4. We did more training between year 2 and year 3, and that, I think that was kind of like the base training that we did, and then we just carried on doing the same thing, because that regression, it was the type of thing where we felt it was just a temporary thing, so we just kept leaving him and letting him figure it out, and he did, and we just carried on doing that essentially. We feel like we hit a point where it was like he knew how to behave, and then there wasn't really much more training to be done, because it was the training that we did was like gradual anyway, and like what I say, we don't really like leaving him for longer than like 3-4 hours anyway, just because that's how long we feel is a good amount of time to leave him by himself. But I never want to say like it's done, because he isn't completely himself when we leave him by himself. Like, he doesn't play with toys, he doesn't really walk around, he just sleeps. So I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that like his training's done and we've finished it, because as well, like the problems that we have with separation anxiety when he's with us are still very much a problem of like, he has to be with us whenever we're in the house. He walks, like he gets very like, oh, where we're going. And I know that's very common for dogs, but it's more of like if we get up, he'll get up and start crying because he's like, where are we going, what's happening? Like, you can tell he's stressed about it. And also the jealousy is still a big problem that we have, that I've mentioned before, where if we're at my grandparents, he very much does not like being away from us. Like, he normally is in the kitchen with the baby gate and he's a nightmare. And then if we're giving affection to like any other animal or any other person, he doesn't like it. So those are still an issue. But to be honest, without a trainer, I have no idea how to tackle them, because it's when he's with us. And the training that I've tried doing at my grandparents, it doesn't work. Like, the training that I've done for separation anxiety with just us doesn't work with other people. So that's something that we need to help with the trainer, I think, and we will get one eventually. Just the circumstances haven't been right yet, but it will happen eventually. Do you find it difficult to consume dog content on social media? I always compare my pups. I actually don't consume social media content about dogs at all anymore. I found it really, really useful in the lead up of getting Oakley and then within the first year, but I think it sets my standards too high with my autism. Mingling with it all, it's difficult, because my autism holds myself to very high standards with everything. Like, not just with Oakley, with everything in my life. I have very, very high standards, and the majority of the time I can't reach those high standards. And with Oakley specifically, it does that, where because I follow trainers the majority of the time, or consume their content the majority of the time, I set too high standards for Oakley, and when it doesn't go that well, I get annoyed, and then the training ends because I don't want that energy to be within the training. And then obviously I'll get annoyed at him, not taking it out on him, but just have like annoyed feelings, and then I'll get in a bad mood, and like, it's just a vicious cycle. So I don't consume training content that much anymore. And then in terms of like accounts, I don't really follow any dog accounts, or I think I might follow some, but I just never see that content anymore on Instagram. You know what Instagram's like, it doesn't show you people anymore. But there's only one person that I like actively follow, and it's actually because the owners of the dog, I don't have them on like any other account, and I just like to keep up with what he's up to. I don't follow dog accounts because I'm too overcritical of them, which isn't fair whatsoever. Like, I shouldn't be putting these high standards that I've got on other people. Or I get sad that I don't have that type of dog, because Oakley isn't an affectionate dog. It's just not who he is, and that's fine. I've come to terms with that. But I get sad that he's not like that dog. And like exactly what you said, I compare my dog to the other dogs. So I just don't consume it. I'll watch ones that come up on my TikTok that are like funny dog videos, but if it's gonna make me feel bad, I just don't do it, because I know I'm setting myself up for failure. There's very few dog videos that I watch now. Daily routine, I think I don't really have a daily routine with Oakley. I'm not doing much training with them at the minute. It's normally, we get up, I don't know, it's not like an interesting thing. And also, I don't want to say when he gets taken out, just because I've said where I live, if that makes sense, but he's also still off his food honestly, that update, everything's exactly the same. He's not food motivated anymore, so doing training inside the house is really, really hard, and also doing enrichment in the house is really, really hard, because all of his enrichment stuff had to do with food that I bought, because that's what he was, and he's not like that anymore, so it's just really hard. So I feel like daily routine, it's not interesting. He'll get his breakfast in some type of enrichment thing, or just in his bowl if we're really struggling to get him to eat. He'll probably have like a Kong at some point in the day. He gets a walk at some point in the day, and then he gets his food again in an enrichment thing if we think he might need it, or just in his bowl if he's not eating. Honestly, the struggle we're having with getting him to eat his meals at the minute, we'll do it in whatever way we think is gonna work. This was one of the ones that caught me up on this last video that made me like stop that video, because I got negative, and it's, what would you tell yourself before you brought him home? And I think my big overarching thing is, and again, if you hear in a like self-righteous way, you're not gonna like this answer, but we'll just go for it. It's my last dog video, and that would be wait. Like, don't get him. Don't get him, because I love Oakley, but I think it would be to wait a few years before getting a dog, because I think situations would be better. I think money, we could have waited until we could get a trainer to be quite heavily involved with me, so I didn't take training so seriously, and it didn't like take over my life. And then if we had a bad training session, I'd feel like the worst person in the world. I feel like a trainer would have helped to like mitigate that. I don't think I was in the right headspace for how much hate I got online. I was in the throes of an eating disorder, and then getting hate online for something else, it just didn't go well. Before getting to know my autism a bit better, like I feel like my biggest thing I'd say before bringing him home is just please just wait a little bit. But if you mean more specifically, like if like I've got him, I don't know what I'd tell myself, because I think I'm still not where I want to be with Oakley, so I don't have the advice that I want to tell myself yet. I don't know whether I'd tell myself not to put stuff on YouTube because of how much hate I got. I'd maybe, I don't know, because I was going to say I'd maybe warn myself on how much other people influence having a dog, but then I think that would come back to not getting one yet. I don't know if it would maybe just be like enjoy the puppy stage while you can, and try, I mean that's the thing, everything that I say I'm like, oh but then, because I was enjoyed the puppy stage, but the puppy stage was freaking horrific. He was a shock. He was a shock, and also the biggest scratcher in your life, so it was painful. So I don't know. I know that's not a very good answer, but I honestly don't know. Training goals, the main thing is the jealousy. We eventually want to get to a place where we could get another animal in the house. I think I definitely want a cat next, but we want to be in a place where we could get another animal if we wanted to. Not that that's on the cards anytime soon, but currently that's the thing. It sounds like I'm like, I want another one, but that's not what I mean. It's more of like, that's the bench level that we want to get to. We want to be at a place where if we wanted to, we could. So the jealousy would be solved. The leaving him wouldn't even be a problem, because he wouldn't be the bad influence. Like, we wanted to be as good of a dog to where we could bring other animals in the house and we'd not be worried about him at all, if that makes sense. But definitely the jealousy, because my grandparents is just an absolute nightmare. Like, interacting with my siblings is just a pain, because I'm giving them cuddles and then he's just like at it all. But definitely the jealousy. I think I'd like I'm trying to think more actual like training. I'd like his down to be better, so that like wherever he is, if I say down, I want him to go down and stay there. I want that to be better. I don't have any off lead goals, because like I said in last year's update, I don't think I ever want to take him off lead. Before you give me any hate, go watch what I say in that video about why. But I think they're the main training goals. Why is he just so handsome? He is the most handsome little boy. I'm not gonna lie, he's very, very cute. He's very, very cute. He's stunning. Like, that's how I describe him. He's a stunning dog. He's so pretty. Would you get a working Cocker Spaniel again? Again, this is another one where I got a bit like negative on it, but it depends what you mean. Like, would you get a working Cocker Spaniel again? So would I get another one? No. But also maybe. Would I in the first place, like if I could go back and tell me? No, I would not. Now that I have one, I would be like, well, I've got one. Do you know what I mean? Whereas back, like if I could go back and tell myself, I would tell myself to get a different breed, just because he's so active. He's so like all the time. And I know that sounds like it's, and I've talked about this before, but I know people hear that in the way of like, oh well, he needs a lot of exercise, and that's what we thought it was. We thought it was like, oh well, we'll just take him for long walks. We love walking. We'll just take him for long walks. It shows up in so many different ways, apart from that. It's like in the house, he doesn't, he is actually a really good boy, he's getting better, he is settling more, but he'll just get like on edge. He'll just be like, what's happening? Lead walking, nightmare, because he's a spaniel. He's also a really weird size, and this isn't like a serious thing, like this isn't me being like, I wouldn't get a Cocker Spaniel because of the size. I don't. This is just another little like tidbit. He's also a really, because he's a medium-sized dog, it's really strange, like he's not small enough to like put him on your lap and just cuddle him, and he's not big enough that you can put him next to him and like lean into him and give him a cuddle. It's really odd size to like cuddle, if you get me. Again, that's not me saying don't get one because of this, but it's just like, I think next, like if I got another one, I think I'd prefer to get a big dog or a little dog. I don't know. I find this question really hard to answer because so many dogs are so different. Like he could have the exact same problems that somebody else is having with like a tiny dog. So I don't want to be like, I wouldn't get a Cocker Spaniel again because he's so high energy, because some dogs aren't like their breed and are high energy. Do you know what I mean? Like my grandparents' Cocker Spaniels, they're the most laid back dogs in the world. They're girls, but they are the reason that I wanted a Cocker Spaniel, and they couldn't be more different from Oakley. Like they don't like walks. They like chilling in the house all day, and they like cuddling. Like Willow, my grandparents' eldest dog, she will sit on your lap and nuzzle her head into your neck and will just sit there like forever, and she'll just cuddle you. But I wouldn't say that's typical of a Cocker Spaniel. That's what I thought it was. It's one of the reasons we got a Cocker Spaniel. But like, she's not typical for our breed. Do you know what I mean? So it's so hard to be like, would you get that breed again? Because in my head I'm like, well, we could get a different breed and it could be exactly the same. But I don't think I would now, even just to be like, I don't think I would have two of the same breed anyway. Like even if I loved Oakley, I mean it might be different if I loved the way Oakley is and was like, this is what I want. But I just like the idea of having a different breed anyway, because there could be a breed out there that's like my like soulmate type breed, and you'll never know until you get one. So I don't think I'd get one again. The last one was, my food motivated senior cocker is in need of enrichment and he loved your treasure hunt idea. Do you have any more tips? Also, I love your content, could watch you for hours as you remind me so much of yourself. That's really lovely. Thank you so much. Honestly, I really appreciate messages like this. So thank you. In terms of enrichment, oh, I could tell you loads. Oakley doesn't do them anymore, so I might not remember all of them, but you can do towel enrichment. So get like an old towel that you're not fussed about, because they probably will rip it up, and then scatter food on it, and then you can do spirals if they're just starting out. So literally just get the middle and pull it into a spiral, and then they can do that. Then as they get more advanced, you can like roll the towel up and then just have it as the roll, and then they've got to unroll the towel. Then once they're very clever with that, you can then like knot the towel up. Depending on how long your towel is, you can like do loads of different knots, and then once it's in the knot, add more food like in there as well, so they know to like unravel it. Treasure hunt is always a favorite. If you are new, that is literally get them out of the room, do it in the biggest room that you've got. So our living room has like another room attached onto it with an archway, so we do it in here. Get them out of the room, hide little piles of kibble all over the room, give them a command, so Oakley would find it, and he'd just spend like 20 minutes finding all the little different piles of food. A non-food one is hide and seek. Love hide and seek. Get him to like be in his bed if you've got that trained, or get him in a weight if you've got that trained, and then go hide somewhere in your house and then release him, and then he's got to try and come find you. We had a really good one. Where was it? Jack hid in the bath. Nobody couldn't find him for ages. Hand feed him with treats is always a good one. There's an endless amount of trick training, sorry, that you can do, but that's always a good enrichment one. Like hand feed their meal and do trick training. You can get loads of different type of snuffle mats. So let me show you Oakley's. This is Oakley's fabric tray, so you can see he's got the towel at the top, which is the one we used to do the towel treats in, and he's got his snuffle mat, which is, let me get it, oh, and then you've got another towel that we used to do it with. This is the snuffle mats. You can get them for relatively cheap on Amazon, or pet shops are actually doing them now, and then you can hide them all over in there. They've got loads of different types on them. They're really good. Then our favorite one, oh god, I'll have to find it because we use it still, is the Kong puzzle ball. We use this nearly every other day because it's so simple to use. You just unscrew it, put the food in there, and then it's got holes, so he has to knock it about with his nose. He has his entire meal in there, so it takes like a good like 10-15 minutes. Then you have puzzle trays. This one is the one where the bones fit in, so he has to figure out that he has to take the bone out before he can get, still got some kibble in, so he can get to the next level. So that one's quite good. Pets at home keep doing different ones as well, which is quite good. You can buy button ones online. They're brilliant because you can put the dispenser really far away from the button. So say you could have on one side of the room the dispenser and then the button on one side of the room, and then they can go tap the button and then the food comes out of the dispenser. So then they have to like run in between, and then that tires them out. Another one that we do when we haven't been able to get out, like if the weather's horrific, is we will go in our hallway. You need like quite a cramped space for this one. Put our feet up on the wall, and then you throw the food either side, so he has to like jump over our legs, and then you can put your legs as high as you want, and a high jump. He's a spaniel, so he can go further on our legs than go, but then he jumps over, up and down. That one's an excellent one. The first time we did that, he actually pooed in the house because he was so like out of breath and we didn't realize how much exercise he'd done. Like that was a really good one. You can also do touch. So you can have like, say, I don't know, you can have like, say this, we use a Tupperware lid. That's our main thing that we use. But this is a surface, and you can put the surface, you need to do it next to you at first, but you train them to have to like touch this. So say if this was the Tupperware lid, we'd say like touch. We don't use touch because touch is our hand, but say, what did we use? I can't remember. We haven't done this one in a while, but let's just use touch. You train them that they have to touch their nose to this surface. It's very similar to the button thing. And then when they touch that, they get food, and then you slowly move that far away. And then it's like the button thing where you get them to touch this with their nose, and then you give them the treat. I think that's all the ones I can think of so far. You can also do like, it's like a treasure hunt, but not in the same way. You know, like the things people do where you have like 3 cups and then something's under the cup and you move them about. You can do that. Oakley used to love that when he was younger, and he can smell the treat in there, and he's got to get the right one. But there's loads of them, honestly. Go on TikTok. You can spend forever looking at enrichment ideas on there. But that was the last question that I had. Like I said, I can do another video if that's what people want, but I don't think I'll be doing just an update video again. I'm sorry if people are disappointed by that, because I know a lot of people subscribe to me because of it. You never know. If I get like a flood of people being like, no, don't stop doing Oakley content, maybe I will, but it's just honest. The main thing that's making me say no is I don't feel completely positive about my relationship with Oakley. So when I talk about Oakley, that shows, and people hate people not having a good relationship with their dog, even when people are trying to work through it. So the main thing is that I feel like I'm too negative about it because I want to be honest. So it just makes it really hard to make the content, if you get me. So I hope people aren't too disappointed. He will be in videos. Like, even though I'm saying that I'm not doing Oakley specific content, Oakley is gonna be in videos all the time. He's my dog. He's always here. So I hope you don't hate me, and I hope I don't have like a mass unsubscribing event. Please don't. If you have anything else that you want to see that will keep you subscribed, let me know and I'll do it. But I hope everyone understands, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave the video a like. Let me know that I'm not doing the opposite of what everyone wants me to do. But I really, really hope I will see you in another video.